Hey guys, happy Monday. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Kolby, and welcome back to UNCUT BTS, where we take you behind the scenes of our podcast, our lives, and our businesses. And is it the last week of January? No, not yet.
Oh, great. I mean, oh,
Longest month
close.
ever.
Yeah, January 22nd. Oh my goodness. Like, I was just talking. I label Megan's like breast milk when she like pumps. And I was like, today's the
Nice of
21st?
you.
So crazy that it's like already almost February.
It I feel like it's gone by really slow in a way. I mean, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
don't know. It's been a really weird month for me. Like I was just talking to a girlfriend, I was like, I feel like normally in January, people are like, yeah, let's go, like new year, new you, new goals,
Yeah.
and like all this fire to get the year started. But I have not been feeling like that at all. I've been feeling very unmotivated and very like slow to like get the engine going. I don't know if it's just me or I don't know. Maybe it's the mood. I
Honestly,
don't know.
I feel the same way because yeah, I think a lot of people, yeah, like let's go, let's do this, let's start waking up early, doing all these things. But I
Yeah.
don't know if it's like me having a baby too. It's kind of just like, let's just slow things down. Let's
Yeah.
just soak it all in. Like it's another month. I know we just got out of the holiday season. Like we're still in the
Hmm.
fog. Things are happening and just trying to soak it all in.
It's
I
a
mean,
lot.
definitely still
Holidays.
making moves,
Yeah.
but not like fast paced like before.
Yeah. No, holidays are a lot. And I think recovering from that craziness takes a while. Like it doesn't just automatically like, okay, the very next
Yeah.
day, like restart and like let's go. I think I don't know, I'm hoping a lot of other people can relate and feel the same way where it's like, damn, there's like a little bit of guilt because I feel like everybody else is like getting a head start. And I'm like, oh, I just want to take a nap.
Yeah. I know. I snoozed my alarm this morning, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Well, I'll get things done today. I'll still get things
Yeah,
done today." But yeah, I think
that's
that's like one big thing too, right? Like knowing how to take it easy and
it.
not
Yeah.
beating yourself up for it too. I think everybody's. I think in another episode or even off the air, we talked about like how I felt really bad about like my habits and all that stuff. But it's like, yeah, just had a kid and not like it's an excuse or anything. But I feel like sometimes people gotta slow down too.
That's true too. I've been thinking a lot about what we talked about in what episode was it? I'm having a brain fart right now. We were talking, you know how like gratitude, like really if you're really practicing gratitude,
McKenna.
it is really being okay with where you are in the present moment without like thinking about what you are not doing or what you don't have,
Hmm.
because if you are truly grateful for what you have, like it's enough in this moment and you're not like your brain's not
Hmm.
allowed to like go and think about all the things I need to do and like all the things I'm not doing.
Yeah, just being 100% grateful.
it was an
Truly so.
allison it was an Allison's episode we were talking about that. Hmm.
We talked about so many good things in that episode. If you guys
Hmm.
haven't watched that episode yet, definitely a good one to watch, to kick off the year and just
Yeah,
get
we'll link
inspired.
it we'll link it in the show notes, but it was just a different message. Like, you know,
We'll
we
just
are
play that
always
clip
like
right here.
manifest big dreams, big
Yeah.
goals, and we're always celebrating that. But I think something that doesn't get talked about enough is slowing down and like really being grateful. We always say like be grateful, but then at the same breath, we're like, okay, what's next? Like, what are we doing?
Yep.
But
Yep.
I think, being grateful and having gratitude for whatever season you're in and whatever situation you're in, even if it like doesn't look the same as it normally does in January. So
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a big one. I mean, like as we grow and learn, that's like a huge one to kind of like focus on just being grateful. Are you still journaling, by the way?
I just journaled today.
Nice.
I've been journaling like maybe every other day or something like that. It's not every day, but yeah.
Nice.
But I started doing lists like how you said that you're doing, like instead of like writing
Yeah.
sentences, like just
Yeah.
making lists of like things
Uh-huh.
I'm grateful for, things I want to accomplish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I have this journal that my friend Kelsey gifted me. She gifted me this 2 years ago. but you write in your own date, so it's like it was still good. Because like
Mhm.
2 years ago, I was like, oh, I really want to journal. Didn't journal. I looked at it. I was like, I wrote one journal entry, and then like next year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try journal again. So I have one from like like 1/4/2022, then I have one from like 1/1/2023. But I've been consistent this year, which is good. But it's cool because it has like little prompts, kind of like what are you grateful for? Like whom are you grateful for? It's cool because it like really focus on like today.
Mm.
Um, and like
Is it the
obviously,
5 minute journal?
yeah, the 5 minute journal, yeah, I love it. And I just been kind of doing it every night. What I really like about journaling, and we talked about this in Allison's episode too, but it really forces you, especially at the end of the night, like it forces you to kind of just like sit down, slow everything down, and think about what you did that day. Because sometimes people ask me what I did like today or yesterday. I'm like, I actually don't know. Let me think about it. So it's
Think
like
about that, yeah.
to sit down and like write things out. I'm like, oh, I did that today. That was a win. Or like, oh man, I did that today. That sucked. Let's change that up for tomorrow. So it's really good to kind of just slow down and reflect on what you did like in the past 10 hours, 24 hours.
Mhm.
It's kind of crazy. So I've been very grateful for that.
What's one thing that you did this past weekend that you really enjoyed? And like, what's one thing you're looking forward to this week?
One thing this past weekend, so Emery's in like the phase of like starting to like. I mean, she's been smiling and like has a lot of personality, but then we did like this one play day yesterday, and like she was giving me like full on belly laughs, like super cute. I'll send you the clip, but it's like super long like belly laughs, and it was just like me messing with her, and like like that was so fun, and like that was like the most memorable thing. I mean, we did so much this weekend.
Mhm.
But like that for me was just like, oh, like she's like laughing and like I don't know. It's
So
just like it was
sweet.
like very rewarding. Uh,
Oh, when they're laughing that hard, that young, like you just like feel so much happiness because like she must really be happy right now.
yeah, and it's like so contagious. Like her every
Mhm.
morning when we wake her up, like she smiles and everything, and like that's really nice. But then like just like during this playtime, like she's like full on belly laughing. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't get over that.
That's
Um,
so sweet.
but this week we're actually flying to San Diego.
What? You are?
Yeah, yeah.
For what?
Uh, I mean the flights were cheap, and we were just like, let's go. Emery's second trip. Megan's
Yeah,
Megan's brother
four
lives out
months,
there, so we're
two
gonna
trips.
visit. Yeah,
Wow.
2 trips in the books. Let's go. Uh,
Wow.
yeah, pretty excited for that. What about you? What did you do this weekend, and what are you excited for this week?
Cleaned my yard this weekend.
I saw
I
your
was
reel.
I was really proud of myself.
That's
Peter got me like these like electric yard tools,
yeah.
so I don't have to like the gas thing scares me for some
Uh
reason.
huh.
So like I never like did lawnmowers and stuff like that
Huh.
and weed whackers with gas. I don't know. I just
He solved the problem.
he did solve the problem for
That's good.
himself too,
Yeah.
so he
But
doesn't
like
have to do.
on the topic of friction, he created less friction, and then you did it. How was
He did.
that? How was
It was fun. It's something about being outside in nature. It feels so rewarding. And like yard work is like one of those things that it's like just hard work. Like you're sweating. I'm out there
that?
in
Oh,
the sun
100%. Yeah.
and I'm like putting on sunscreen over and over again. And it's just like hard work. Like my arms and my shoulders are actually hurting today because I'm
Worked
like
out.
putting up all the weird angles and stuff. But at the end of it, it's like you look at the yard, I'm like, wow, like I did that. And then you just feel so productive. I love
100%.
that. I love like getting things done like with your hands, like actually doing
Yeah.
something with your hands instead of I'm always on the screen, just like always sitting and working. And
Uh-huh.
so to be able to like move and feel
No, I
productive.
saw your reel and I was like, oh, that's so special. Just like what you want your $2 to see. That's great though. Hard work.
They
I
were
love it.
so cute. They like made me a little spa day in the house afterwards.
Oh,
Like you worked hard, and they made a little spa day and like a smoothie. It was really sweet.
oh, that's awesome.
Um, and then this week we both have the Ever After
Oh
Awards
yeah, tomorrow.
tomorrow. So this is the first annual um, put on by Hawaii Wedding Style. So we don't really know what to expect, but We're both up for best photo and best video.
Best icon or something too, right? Wedding,
Best icon. Something like that.
like
Industry icon.
industry icon. Yeah, wedding
Yeah,
industry
that's
icon.
so random. I'm like, what in the world? But
Hey, you've been in the industry for a long time. You've seen it grow. You've seen it change up and down, and it's crazy.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think the big thing about the wedding industry, I'm excited for that because yeah, we get
Hmm.
to connect with other vendors, kind of hang out,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be cool because I mean the wedding industry here in Hawaii is different. You know, like there's weddings around the world, but there's something special about the wedding industry in Hawaii. And I tell like we have so many filmmaker friends from around the world, right? But it's like, dude, there's something special about like Hawaii's wedding industry, film industry, everything, but especially the wedding industry. Everyone
Yeah.
just comes together, and it's so
Yeah.
nice.
I'm excited. I know it feels like a little family,
Mhm.
especially the ones that have been around for a long time. It just like feels like home. It like just we might not see each other all the time, especially now I don't really shoot weddings,
Mhm.
but when I get to see everybody again, it's like just pick up where we last left off. It's
Yeah.
really special. And then to meet like the new vendors that are coming up and just being able to just like feed off of their energy, it's really nice. I feel like weddings are coming back huge this year because we have that. And then there's Wed Talk coming up next month.
Yeah. So
You want
Wahoo Wedding Association is putting on the first ever Wed Talk, and very parallel to like a wedding expo, but I think it's unique because you know, couples that come, they get to connect with the vendors directly. I think like in a different style, right? Like, and everyone
Mhm.
is like very just like helpful of each other. Like, hey, you know, like really pick someone that you vibe with. It's a great chance to like talk and connect, not over screen or like on a
Mhm.
phone call. And then just hear like tips and tricks from like all the professionals through the panelists and everything. So it's a unique one, and it's the first one, so excited for that.
Yeah, for the OGs who have been around since the Wedding Cafe, it's kind of a mix between like a wedding expo and wedding cafe workshops, which is so exciting because wedding expos back in the day was kind of it was awkward because you'd have to
Yeah.
set up your booth
Yep.
and get all these business cards and just stand there and wait for people to come to you, and people are like it's always a little awkward and like what do you talk about and like what am I supposed to do here. um but this way it makes it so much more approachable where you're actually learning stuff at the same time. It's not just like one on one, you're like having to ask questions. It's like you get to listen to all the different vendors speak and like play off of each other. I think it's a brilliant idea. So, yay, thank you, OWA, for putting this on.
Yeah, where everyone is stoked for that. So that's gonna be like a big event that hopefully, you know, ODB does annually, and just I think just like again like being able to connect more people. Hey, what's up?
Kamaka! I
You want me
thought,
sideways like this or?
no, straight up like that's
Oh,
good.
okay.
Happy
No.
Yeah.
Monday.
Happy
Happy what?
Monday.
I was thinking that we would be getting you like coming out of the code plunge or coming out of the sauna.
We can do that. We can do that another time. It would have to be after like 10:30 when everybody's gone though.
Just kidding, man. How was your workout?
I'm
How was
down
your
for that.
workout?
Good. I died. I'm super tired, but I
But
got a
you
little
got
life after the cold plunge.
what's your routine in the mornings lately? Has it been at 45? Yeah, what's your routine?
Yeah, so I wake up, do some stretches, leave, fight the traffic. F45, cold plunge sauna, and then I usually start my meetings if I have any like after 10:30, and then either podcast or some other event or errands, and then just work whenever I
That's,
need to.
that's awesome. And you do that
Yeah.
every day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
pretty nice. I get to control my schedule
That's
and
awesome.
like have kind of slower mornings, which I like.
We were just talking about like morning routines and like getting stuff done, like, you know, in January. Like, how was your January? Like, did you feel like it was slow, or like, you know, you kind of get, you know, after the holiday season, you know, everybody's kind of like burnt and hard to, it's tougher to get into back into your routines, but how was it for you?
Yeah. Wait, did we start already? Are we recording?
We're
Yeah, this is
recording.
it. You
Oh,
jumped.
Wait,
Wow,
awesome.
we're
Andrew,
recording.
we're
Yeah.
Right, okay, sorry, I got my sunglasses on. My,
everybody, Kamaka Dias.
yeah, so you can see my eyes. Yeah. My Asian, Japanese, Korean eyes. Um,
You look great.
yeah, thanks. I got a little glow after the sauna, maybe. January. I mean, it always starts off slow because I started in Hilo. Every Christmas and New Year's I'm in Hilo, and then on the second it's my dad's birthday and my nephew's birthday. So I always come back to Oahu around like the fifth or sixth. So
Hmm.
after that, I can get back into a good routine, and uh, that's just been waking up at 45, sauna cold plunge, and then starting the day. So
It's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I love it. I love my morning routine. Anytime I have to travel now, I kind of don't. I just want to stay here because I have a good routine going, and I kind of
Mhm.
don't like to mess with that.
I know it that, yeah, I totally get that.
Mhm.
I know we were just talking earlier about like our year is getting off to a slow start. Like, I don't know. Normally we're like very like, okay, new year, new goals. Like, let's like,
Mhm.
what are we doing this year? Like, for some, well, Andrew also has a baby, so that's
Mhm.
his excuse. But also, I'm like very like I want to just be slow and then like drink my coffee and like hopefully I get some motivation somewhere sometime soon. But
I think that's good. Sometimes you need to slow down to speed up. I mean, I
mhm,
same. I mean, in business wise, it's been slow. Like I haven't even finalized any like sponsorships, nothing. Like I've been in negotiations and like even other stuff that I'm doing. It's just been I kind of slacked off during the holidays. So now
yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I gotta get it going. But even for me at home, I'm like, I have all these lists of things to do, and I get to like a quarter of them, and maybe
Mhm.
like some of my house chores, and I'm like, I'll do it later. But it does. I do feel you when you say it's like a slow start to the year.
At least we're not the only one. Well, at least you're doing your
Mm.
morning workout and then the rest of the day you're feeling great, right?
Yeah, yeah. But it also might just seem slow to us because we're always doing so much all the time and just constantly
Yeah.
going,
Oh,
right?
that's
Yeah.
true.
So
Mhm.
That's what I was saying too.
yeah,
It's like I think it's just because we're not used to this.
yeah.
Now we have to like adjust and like, okay, let's slow down. Let's like take the time to like reflect and be grateful for the things that we're doing, and then like you said, you got to slow down to speed up. So
Hmm.
Mhm.
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll probably jump back on and then like a month from now and we're gonna be like, oh my God, things are so crazy.
So many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish it was slower.
yeah. Why do we say that? Why do we jinx it? But what
Yeah.
what's been new with you? I know. I mean, you kind of like updated your podcast name and all that stuff. So yeah, why don't you tell everyone what you've been up to?
Yeah, so Keep It Aloha podcast. That's the new name of the podcast. It used to be the Hawaiiverse podcast. Hawaiiverse, I'm still a part of. I just separated it so it wouldn't be so confusing. But we launched a game called MoGabs. I don't know if I have it here. Oh, yeah, I
Oh, I
do. I got
have
it in my
it. Give
middle.
me the
So
one.
yeah, I gave it to you guys. So it's a fun card game that you can play with your family and friends. Kind of, it's a spin-off of Mad Gaz, but just a local version of that. So we
So
did that with Hawaiiverse. Started a nonprofit called Hoa Aina. So that we're still getting off the ground. We got our 501c in December, so it's official. We're just fundraising and kind of moving dirt. So I think in the next couple months we're gonna start planting and applying for grants. And
What's
once
the
we get
vision of
money,
that?
hopefully. Uh,
What's the vision
it's
of
an
that project?
agriculture Yeah, it's an agriculture nonprofit based on four pillars: preservation, restoration, education, and sustainability. So we want to plant native Hawaiian plants, canoe plants, even hula plants, and then even start a nursery, stuff like that, and just educate ourselves and others about sustainability and show people that you can sustain yourself here in Hawaii. We have so much land and resources that we just need to actually put the effort into it
Mhm.
to get to that point that we want to be. Yeah.
I
nice.
So
love
But just
that
that.
even getting it started, that's awesome.
what is
Mhm.
that?
just like getting it started and like
Mm-hmm.
getting like the 501c3. It's a long and hard process, and for you to like figure that out and like set your mind to it, and then like figure. I mean, just like having the four pillars, just like knowing exactly what you want to do. That's hard for like starting anything, right? A company, a nonprofit, anything like that. A new goal, like why are you doing it? What are you doing it for? So
Mm-hmm.
congrats to you on that. We're excited to see what you do with that.
Thank you. I
I
think like
thought I
the the thing that I get really lucky with, that I'm super blessed, is that I get brought onto these projects. So I don't do a lot of the back end work. So I can say like, oh yeah, I'm my business Flavors, my business Mahalo Shoots, my nonprofit Hawaiian. I'm the vice president, but like I'm really just like the face and like the networking,
You're
the
just a
the,
pretty
the
face.
media.
pretty
Yeah,
face.
and then everybody does the heavy back end work, like the logistical stuff, the applying for the 501(c), the accounting, whatever. So I never have to do any of that, which I love because I don't enjoy that stuff. So I'm just always blessed that I find the right people, and we all have our strengths, and we just focus on that.
But what
That's
you
the
bring to
beauty
the
of collaboration and community.
what
Yeah,
you bring to the table
exactly.
is huge, because not many people can go out and like talk
Yeah.
about and promote something the way that you do, and to make those connections with the right people. So I think that's awesome. I think they're also
Mhm.
like very fortunate to have you on board.
I think everyone definitely just brings something to the table, and like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
your strengths are
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sure at some point we'll be collaborating and working on something together too.
Yeah,
Wait.
that's the beautiful thing about this
Yeah,
island, this community, this culture. I love it.
yeah, yeah. I love this, the community over competition. That's my favorite
Um,
thing.
Speaking of, let's talk about something that happened. What was it? 2 weeks ago. So we talked about a little bit about what happened
We
with the recording day with Augie. We talked about it a little bit, so I'm not going to make Andrew relive it, but I just wanted to say thank you so much
thank
for
you.
being willing to come and like co-host with me.
Yeah.
I think it was really fun because you and Augie had already like a friendship or relationship, and so you guys got to talk about like catch up too, and
Hmm.
then I think it was fun. So thank
Yeah,
you.
that was a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
it
thank
was
you for
cool
that.
cool to see you guys new setup at CPB and meet Michael.
Mikhail
Oh,
and yeah,
Mikhail,
Tina
Michael.
Mikhail.
was there. Yeah,
Michael.
Gabe was there.
Yeah, and Gabe, see Gabe again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
I do have to break the news on something though. That you remember how I was like, I don't know how to work the soundboard. Like I've never worked the soundboard before. Andrew does it.
Did it not go through?
Well, Augie's mic sounds crystal clear, perfect, but I think I muted mine and your mic. So I'm trying to like do some AI enhancing on the camera audio for us, but it's not very clear. So just wanted
Oh
to let
no,
you.
so you could probably use the camera audio, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
doing.
yeah.
She's trying
I'm
to,
Okay.
using
she's trying to
I'm
enhance it.
I'm trying to enhance it, but I mean it was still not great. So,
See,
but Augie's
that's just a sign. When Andrew's not there, everything just goes
No,
terribly. He needs
I'm
to
so
be there.
grateful that everyone was able to come in and like step in, and again just like help, like like no questions asked. Your schedule was clear, you came through, and like that was so fun and so nice for me to see. Like me stressing, trying to like figure everything out, but like Kobe like bringing in all these people. I don't know, it was just great to see, and like very very like again community over
over
competition. Like
competition.
that's such a big
Yeah,
thing.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got to be on a podcast panel together
Hmm.
at the Shoot Summit at Moanalua. Like,
Oh yeah, that
man,
was super fun.
Yeah,
props to
that was
those
awesome.
guys who put that together, because that was such a cool event. This is the second time that I got to go and like talk and do a workshop. But kids from all over the islands, actually, like lots from the Big Island too, all over the islands from
From
like kindergarten,
elementary, yeah,
elementary kids,
to high school.
learning about video production, photography, like everything involved in media production, all coming together, learning together. It was really fun. And we got to do a podcasting one, which
Yeah,
was
see?
They asked
cool.
some good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
one one of the memorable ones was like, I know I'm not supposed to ask you, straight up how much you guys make, but how much do you guys make? And do you guys do
Yeah,
this full time? And we're like, oh
yeah.
gosh.
Like how sustainable is it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. I
Like,
love it. I
not
love all those
sustainable at
questions.
all. Don't go into podcasting.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's hard work. I mean, but it was cool because we were able to, talk about how, like, you see all the episodes online and all the stuff, but you don't know. I mean, like, a lot of the times, like, there's a lot of hard work that goes behind it. Like, I see your stories, Kamaka, and like you listening through every episode and like marking it or like posting it on all the different platforms. Like, that's so much
Mhm.
like commitment and hard work.
Yeah, I think I said, and I think we all agreed, like showing up and talking is the easy part, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all the other things that go on before and after. That's the tough part and the boring part that we all don't love.
Yeah. What some things that you're excited about this year for Keep It Aloha podcast?
We got our live show coming up at the Blue Note
Oh
February
yeah.
18th. So that's
Nice.
super exciting. We got McKenna Maduli as the guest, and I got some special surprise guests coming for that day as well. If I don't know if you're going to be on island, Colby, but Andrew, if you're around,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah,
that's
Mike.
probably the biggest thing, and just trying to up continuously get better, not just as a host and interviewer, but with the episodes, even like something as simple as like captioning thumbnails, stuff like that. There's always room for improvement, and now we have our studio now, so yeah, just trying to find a sweet spot of just production,
Mhm.
um, but not get too comfortable, because I
Mhm.
feel like there's always room for improvement, and I feel like me, I'm never stagnant. I'm always yearning for more.
Mhm.
So I know even it's a slow start to the year. I know at some point I'm just gonna crank it up and just go
Mhm.
0 to 100.
Yeah. All of us.
We can
Yeah,
relate to that for sure.
Yeah.
yeah.
One thing that we were talking about, I think we were maybe talking about it offline, or maybe it was during the panel, but how in the beginning I thought, everybody would probably want to be on our podcast because it's free advertise. It's like free advertisement, and who wouldn't want to like promote whatever thing that they're doing or business that they're running. But then one thing that we are starting to realize is that it's kind of scary to be on a podcast, like to be a guest on a podcast,
Yeah.
You need to really open up, and we don't send the questions ahead of time. So they might not know like what we're about to ask them, and people might be a little bit afraid of being that vulnerable. Like, have you experienced that too?
Yeah, I know people get nervous when they come on. And even, people that have a lot of followers or they're always in the spotlight, I think because for our shows, it's really good quality. You got your close-ups, you're asking some good questions, and and I think you mentioned it was that you're taking away their control.
Yep.
Mhm.
Or so that's like with their own social media, they have control over what they post and how
Mhm.
they appear to the general public. But for that, it's out of their hands, and we're cutting the clips, we're putting them online, and they just can't really. It's scary, for people who want to uphold a certain image. So I have had people who come on, they're like, "Oh, I'm nervous," but once they start talking and you get like 20 minutes in, they just forget about it, and they're like, "Ah, I forgot that I'm even nervous."
It is tough to kind of just like go out and like put yourself in that uncomfortable state, like like being vulnerable and just like talking story. Because like yeah, our podcasts are very raw. It's just like a talk story sesh. Ours are 1 hour. I know Kamaka sometimes you go to 3 hours, so it's like full on talking story the whole time, and just like you never know what you'll be talking about and whatnot. But
Mhm.
I think we talked about this too when we were even Colby and her interviewing session, was like being able to create that safe space for just to be able to feel comfortable and talk story and share your story. And sometimes like the topics we talk about we don't even plan or like we didn't even know about, and like it just gets shared, and then we talk about that, and like some like those are the most powerful clips. So I think I encourage people to go out and be vulnerable and share your story, and you never know what might happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I
Ev
think
ev
even for people watching, like the people that we're interviewing, they're real people too.
Yeah.
When you are talking in a conversation, sometimes you might like say something or like exaggerate something that you might not really mean, and like later on be like, did I really feel that way, or did I just like my mouth just like said that?
Yeah.
So like even the people watching, like don't be like so judgmental. I feel like people can be so judgmental sometimes, like, wow, she really feels that way, or he really feels that way, or like, why did he say it like that? I'm like, they're just people too, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, people put whatever's on social media, especially when you have a following under a microscope, and
Mhm.
Hmm.
anything you say can be taken out of context. You know,
Yeah.
I've had haters recently in like last year just for like certain clips, and even some of the best clips and from past guests, like they would say such beautiful things, and there would be somebody who just said something hateful. I'm like, how can you even hate on this? But
Yeah, it
people find
happens.
ways. People
How
find
do
ways.
you
Yeah.
manage that for yourself? Like, what, I guess, like, advice would you give to someone like that has
Mm.
social media and, like, they get those comments or
Just ignore it. I mean, that sounds so easy, right? Just ignore it. Just pretend like it's not there. It took me a while to get here. I'm at a very peaceful place in my life now, so nothing bothers me. I don't take anything personally. I know everything's just like a reflection of somebody else. I read the four agreements. Don't take anything personally. So I think
Mhm.
that helps me too, and just knowing that people are gonna be offended by anything. Like you're gonna find something. Like if there's something going on in your life, something's gonna trigger you. And I think I know you're a big fan of Jay Shetty. One of
yeah.
the episodes I was listening to towards the end of last year, he said like, I hope I can remember, but he had somebody on and they said like people who get triggered, it's like they're walking around with a loaded gun, and it's not somebody else's job to stop you from shooting that. It's your job to not walk around with a loaded weapon. So
Mm.
there's a lot of trauma and things going on in other people's lives that they have to work through, and anything they see on social media that they're triggered by, that's even if what you said, you know, could be taken as offensive, like to me that's just not my cooldown and my responsibility. It's more inner work on the other person. So that's how I look at it now, and I just think like, well, if people are living in the comment sections talking about other people's lives, I think I just posted a clip. That it's like
Says a lot.
maybe that just brings them joy. That's all they have to look forward to, and I have so many amazing things in life and things off of social media that I really enjoy. So I just don't take it too seriously or personally. I'm just like, well, you can go comment hateful things. I'm just gonna stay home and watch anime. You know? Like,
Oh no,
yeah,
that's such good perspective. That's a
yeah.
good reframing, because I think it's a real thing that people get really afraid to be canceled and because I don't know, follower count matters, your reputation matters, and I think people because of that are like walking on like eggshells when it comes to saying things and doing things on social media. So just yeah, I love that.
Hmm.
It's not your job. It's not your kuleana to like make sure that people don't
Hmm.
get offended by
Yeah,
Yeah.
things.
I
it's
just read this.
crazy.
Go ahead.
And
Go
I
ahead.
know that like your intentions and like our intentions too are so pure when it comes to this podcast and I know for your podcast too, it's really just about like creating opportunities to have conversations and really elevating those voices. And so hopefully people just are reminded that that's our heart and like that's where we're
Hmm.
coming from.
Thanks for
Um,
coming on and sharing.
yeah.
We're
Yeah.
Yeah.
excited. We're excited to see everything you do with Keep It Aloha and your nonprofit and Hawaiiverse and everything else you're involved with. It's so crazy to see you everywhere now.
I know
Really
you can't get
everywhere.
rid of me. I'm like mode. I'm just always popping up everywhere.
When Kamaka and I first met,
Mold.
he was on his journey of paying off his student
Oh
loans,
yeah. Yeah.
doing like all kinds of jobs, and so he was hired as a host through like the Subaru project we're working on, and that story was cool too. So if you guys don't know Kamaka's story about like the student loan debt, go buy his book or go look at his stories and watch that, because that was a crazy story. That was so cool.
Yeah,
How long did it
that was
take you?
fun. 11 months. So my goal was
You
1 year.
under a year. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and it was during the pandemic as well, so had to pivot a lot.
Go back and listen to Kamaka's episode on Uncut. That was a
Hmm.
good one.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you for joining, Kamaka. I know you have a busy day. So thank you for
Yeah,
stopping,
thank you for having me. It's
taking
always
time.
great chatting with you both. You gotta stop by our studio at some point.
Yeah, I
We'll
definitely want to come
probably
check it
flip
out.
this
Play some
over
Smash
here.
Bros.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll bring the
What
Switch.
do you mean? You
Right
don't just
on.
like keep it there all day, every day, and just play that? I'm just
No,
kidding.
we purposefully cannot leave it there because we never get anything done. So I have to take it. I'm not allowed to leave it there, Jordan
Yeah.
says.
Thank you. Have a great week.
All right, you too. I'll
Bye,
talk to you guys
Kamaka.
later. Shoots.
Bye, Kamaka.
Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah, I love. I keep saying this every single time, but the recordings, yes, are fun, and we're still doing that. But like, I love that we're doing this every week.
Yeah, I know. It is easy, nice and easy, just from our bedrooms.
Less friction.
And we
And
get to
I think
catch
what
up
it
with
is like it's almost like a form of um, therapy and journaling. We're
Mhm.
reflecting on what we're doing, reflecting on what we're excited for, connecting with past guests and reflecting with them. So it's kind of cool. And then we get to share it with all the listeners and viewers.
Yeah, I know. I feel almost like um selfish is not the right word, but I feel like so just lucky because I think we all wish that we could just catch up with friends and stuff, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to catch up with a friend.
Yeah.
There's so many people that I would just want to talk to, like no phones, just like how are you doing, like what's going on in your life. So I think that's why we love this Uncut BTS, but also Uncut our podcast. It's like just uninterrupted time to talk and connect. It's so rare. It's so rare nowadays, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We talk about that I think we talked about it in the podcast panel too. It's like, yeah, we get to sit down,
Mm-hmm.
no phones. That's a big one. Just kind of like be present,
Mm-hmm.
actually present in the conversation, and it's great. It's so nice. Just because like I think like our lives are so fast paced too,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. But then to be able to like book it out in this calendar, and I mean, or book it out in our time and just be able to focus and do that, be present. It's amazing.
I look
So
forward to it so much.
yeah,
Like I really do. I'm like meetings, but ooh, podcast. Yay.
yeah,
We're gonna have
yeah.
fun.
Uh-huh.
Ugh. All right. Well, have a great week. Tomorrow we have Hiilani Shibata. She
Nice.
is one of the co-founders of Kamahina Project. And we talk about all the moon things, which was really fun. This was our actual first recording of the year. Um, this happened on the day that Andrew wasn't able to join us. So it's just Hii and I. But I thought it was just a cool way to kick off the new year. It's something that I personally have been really interested in, like the moon cycles and how our kupuna
Mm-hmm.
have used the moon to help them and practices and certain things. So we go through all of that stuff and how to find your moon that you were born into and what that means for you. So
That's exciting. Good way to
mhm.
kick off the year for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
All
thank you
right.
guys for listening to us, Uncut BTS, on your Monday. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Let us know what you want us to talk about. I mean, like, Kobe and I are an open book. We want to be able to share our stories, our business journeys, all of that. So, yeah, let us know, DM us, and we'll be sure to talk about it.
Yeah. Have a great
Have a
week,
great week,
guys.
guys.